And also, the Trey Lance situation, it feels like there's a really good story there. I don't know if it ever surfaces, but you've had Jimmy Garoppolo talk about some weird things went on in San Francisco when he was there, and now Trey Lance. Here's Trey Lance on leaving San Francisco.
When you got the news that they were going with Sam as number 2, did you need some time away, or how did that end there for you in San Francisco?
Kind of really trying to move on, but yeah, it definitely took some time. That conversation obviously, wasn't something I wanted to hear, but that's the reality of the situation, and nothing but respect and gratitude for everyone there, and coaching staff, locker room. But yeah, obviously, it was tough, but for me, it was kind of trying to figure out what's next and what's going to happen in the future.
I'm rooting for him. He's young. It's not his fault that the Niners fell in love with him. It's weird that we labeled the player a bust. Trey Lance didn't draft himself. Anthony Bennett, when he went number 1 overall with the Cavaliers, he didn't draft himself. Greg Oden, somebody said that's the guy we want to take. Why don't we mention the GM when it comes to a draft bust? Does anybody mention who the GM was with the Cleveland Cavaliers who took Anthony Bennett number 1 overall? He had no business going up that high. And it was one of those where I thought, when I watched him play in college, and I thought, okay, nice player, but not a great player. And then the Cavaliers, I thought, well, it's a smokescreen. They're not taking Anthony Bennett. But then who wants Anthony Bennett? And it turns out it wasn't a smokescreen. But we don't mention the GM. Is history going to go, John Lynch wanted Trey Lance. But then they'll go, yeah, but he also got Brock Purdy. Yes, he.
Yeah, but see, it feels like Brock Purdy, while he looked good last year, and I'm obviously a huge Brock Purdy supporter.
Of course you are.
I discovered him, really.
Yes, you did.
When you think about it. Maybe they've moved on a little too quickly to Brock Purdy. I mean, considering he just had his elbow rebuilt or whatever. Is there a scenario where halfway through this season, it's like you guys got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance for Mr. Irrelevant?
I think Sam Darnold would be just as good as Brock Purdy. And I think that he must have been so much better than Trey Lance that they were like, you know what? He's expendable. I think, what's Sam Darnold? 26?
Yep.
26? They're fine with Sam Darnold because, once again, that goes back to Kyle Shanahan's philosophy. I thought they were going to take Mac Jones. I was told all along they were going to take Mac Jones because he fit what Kyle Shanahan wants. He wants somebody who can go out there and execute a game plan because he's going to tell you the receiver over there is going to be open. I mean, that's how, deep he goes when it comes to play calling. It's not a play call. It's the play is going to go over there. This is where you're going to be successful. And I think he thought Mac Jones, or at least I was told, would be perfect for that. I think they fell in love with the athleticism, what Trey Lance could give you, and that is running and passing. But turns out he might be able to run, but he wasn't able to pass, even in Kyle Shanahan's offense. But I think they are very excited to have Sam Darnold there as a backup quarterback. Yeah, Paul.
Brock Purdy was a small sample size, but in 5 starts last year, 67%, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. His quarterback rating was 107.3. That's really high, especially for a 23-year-old. In the playoffs, before he got injured, he had 2 playoff wins, 3 touchdowns, no picks, quarterback rating of 110 in the playoffs last year. So
Balling.
It was all good except for the injury.
I got to see more, though. First of all, the health of his arm, and then can he do it again? It's like Jalen Hurts. It's just weird. As great as he was, and I would have been a proponent of him being a MVP for the Super Bowl, even in a losing effort. But I'd like to see a little bit more. Sometimes that guy like Tua, I don't know how good Tua is. I know he's got talent around him. I know Mac Jones might be good, but he doesn't have talent around him. Justin Fields is certainly interesting. Does he have talent around him? Trevor Lawrence finally has some talent around him, and he's probably going to make that big leap this year. Josh Herbert has talent around him. Austin Eckler staying. So when you're looking at that supporting cast, the Niners got a lot of talent there, offensively and defensively. By the way, Jimmy G, he had some things to say about the 49ers.
What did you make of the Trey Lance trade to Dallas?
Weird situation.
been a lot of weird situations over there in San Francisco, just to leave it at that. But, I'm happy Trey got another shot, man.
How do you think San Francisco's handled those quarterback situations?
How do you think they've handled them?
I think it's been messy. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
Okay. All right. Jimmy G turning it around on Robin Lundberg. That's Sports Illustrated online with Jimmy G. Yes, Paul.
Was he being interviewed in the lobby of a cool hotel in Miami?
Yeah.
Music?
Yeah. I don't know. Did they add the music? Sports Illustrated add the music to that?
I added that.
Oh, you did?
No,
you
I did not
didn't.
add
No,
that.
you didn't.
He was actually doing like one of those Instagram features where you're shopping for sneakers or something. And he's like, oh, yeah, see these Jordan 4s. I really love those. Well, anyway, I don't want to talk about San Francisco.
Play it again and let me hear the lobby music.
What did you make of the Trey Lance trade to Dallas?
Weird situation. Been a lot of weird situations.
You know,
over there in San
that's where you
Francisco.
go into a hotel and the rooms are really, really, really small, but they charge you even more because they're really, really small. They're hip. You walk in there and you like got a vibe going on. There's some neon in there. Like, all right. And Jimmy G's in the lounge there. Yeah, Marv.
That's when I changed my lingo to what the young kids are saying. Oh, yo, no cap, fire.
Riz.
Yeah,
Riz. Yes. Yeah, Paul.
That's one of those hotels where you go to the bathroom and there's no delineation between the bathroom and the shower. It's just a light piece of glass and everything's open air.
Well, I went to a bathroom in Dublin and it was unisex.
Oh.
But I didn't realize it
Whoa.
was. Yeah. It was like,
Is that common?
not for me. Not for me, but I was a little surprised, and she was too.
Hey, Dan Patrick.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. No, don't get up.
I got Garoppolo's stats. I mean, it's hard to tell.
All he does is win.
Jimmy Garoppolo is 38-17 as a starter, 82 touchdowns, 42 picks. I mean, they're spotless numbers. It's just I saw some articles that they were comparing Purdy to Garoppolo. Purdy takes chances downfield. Purdy can make plays downfield, and Garoppolo never really got there. That's what some of the analysts are saying the difference is. Numbers are similar.
Jimmy Garoppolo's a nice quarterback. I mean, not everybody is Mahomes or Brady or Aaron Rodgers. There are guys who do the job well enough to be a starter in the league. Like, are we waiting for Dak Prescott to be something different? He's been he's now over 30 years of age. He's been in the league 8 years. What are we expecting? Is he all of a sudden going to put up 45 touchdowns? Probably not, because you have a coach who still wants to run the football. But we keep waiting for Dak Prescott to be something. Kirk Cousins, that's who he is. Ryan Tannehill, that's who he is. But we keep waiting like, man, this is the year. Now, Trevor Lawrence went to a really bad team, had a bad coaching situation. I think he is going to be a whole lot better, exponentially better this year, and might make that leap into the really good quarterbacks in the NFL. Yes, Paulie.
Yeah, Trevor, first year under Urban Meyer, the Hall Pass year as we call it, 12 touchdowns, 17 picks, led the league in picks. He flipped it last year, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks, and they were cruising at the end. He was playing much better in the second half of the season than the first half.
He just looked in more command of the offense. Plus, you have a better situation with Doug Peterson instead of Urban Meyer. Doug Peterson, a former backup quarterback, understands, how to make your quarterback better. Certainly did that in Philadelphia. But Trevor Lawrence, to me, that's where you make that jump, where you go, what was it that happened? What's different? And this could be the year for him. And we see this with quarterbacks where you go, oh, he got it. He understands it.